Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. When the police become criminals, there is no one left to protect us but ourselves. Unchecked police misconduct is the greatest threat to democracy. Bad cops are protected by the silence of good cops. The refusal to hold police accountable for misconduct is a license for corruption. The police are the public face of the criminal justice system. When they abuse their authority, public trust in justice is eroded. Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today, I'm taking you inside the Hillsboro City Council meeting, where I stood up during open comments to demand answers about police misconduct and a lack of accountability in the city. I went before the city leaders to talk about records I requested regarding the internal investigation into Officer Roseanne Lindemann. A request the city has flat out denied. But this isn't just about one officer. This is about a pattern of secrecy that keeps the truth hidden from the public. I also spoke out about the outrageous arrest of Terry Dickman, an elderly man with a pacemaker who was falsely accused, cited, and ultimately arrested by officers Brittany Garner and Sergeant Dominique Anderson after escalating the situation over a load of dirt. That's right, folks, over a load of dirt. Not only was there no evidence, but Terry was across town working with another crew when the alleged incident happened. Despite filing an internal affairs complaint 2 weeks ago, I've still heard nothing but silence from the city. At that meeting, I called out the corruption, the conflicts of interest, and the revolving door of officials investigating their own buddies. Commander Brian Fornes, Major Clay Sparks, Director of Public Safety Tony Kane, and even Walter Garcia, the Director of Public Works. They all had a hand in the cover-up, none willing to take responsibility. And let's not forget the city manager, Megan Henderson, who seems completely unaware of, or just unwilling to address, the culture of misconduct in her own departments. Instead of true accountability, they bring in so-called quote-unquote outside investigators just to protect the city's image, not to protect the citizens' rights or get to the bottom of the truth. Enough is enough. If you care about accountability, transparency, and real change, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, you can become a channel member for exclusive early access to content. And if you want to help keep these investigations going, covering records requests, obtaining body camera footage, and more, consider donating via Cash App or PayPal. The links will be in the description. Every bit goes straight back into holding our public officials accountable. Now, let's get into what I had to say that night at the City Council meeting and why the people of Hillsboro deserve real answers.
Here we go, showtime. Set that up right there. And same rules as last time, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good evening. I submitted a public records request for the internal affairs investigation into Corporal Roseanne Lindemann, and the city is hiding it. To this day, that investigation has not been turned over. No transparency, no explanation, just silence. It's not how accountability works. At the last council meeting, I submitted a formal internal affairs complaint involving Sergeant Dominique Anderson, Officer Brittany Garner, Walter Garcia, the Director of Public Works, and the Commander, Brian Fornes. These are serious allegations involving retaliation, abuse of authority, and potential misconduct. But again, We've heard nothing. Not a single update, not a single acknowledgement. The city is ignoring its duty to investigate its own. Meanwhile, Sergeant Anderson continues to abuse her badge. She's become known for writing false citations and escalating peaceful interactions into arrest, all to compete for numbers. This isn't law enforcement. It's a game to her. It's about racking up arrests, not upholding justice. Citizens like Terry Dickman have been targeted, cited without evidence, and arrested without cause, all because they dared to speak up. And let's talk about who's supposed to investigate Major Clay Sparks. He lives right across the street from Terry Dickman. In fact, he refused to take the last complaint from me. He's not impartial. And Tony Kane, there are already allegations of a cover-up under his watch. So tell me, who can we trust to investigate? City Manager Megan Henderson clearly has no control over what the police department is doing. She's out of the loop and unqualified to handle serious misconduct investigations. And even if the city brings in outside investigators, we all know how that works. They'll just whitewash the findings to avoid liability. It's all about protecting the system, not the people. In the end, we, the taxpayers, are funding this abuse. We are paying to be harassed, silenced, arrested, and ignored. We are paying salaries for officers who violate rights and officials who look the other way. And I'm telling you now, this has to end. We demand accountability, we demand real investigations, and I will not stay silent. Thank you.
Today, the city is swearing in a new council member. For the last few weeks, he's been showing up to these meetings, often without me knowing he was even planning to be sworn in. During that time, we've had honest conversations about the corruption that's been plaguing Hillsboro. We stood outside with our signs before and during these city council meetings, and he didn't shy away. He listened, he asked questions, and he seemed genuinely concerned about what we had to say. Now let me be clear. I don't think the entire city council is corrupt. In fact, I think most of them are simply unaware of what's really going on. The real issue is that they're being kept in the dark by Tony Kane, the Director of Public Safety, and the Assistant City Manager. Whether it's not by informing Megan Henderson, the City Manager, or the council members themselves, or by outright lying and manipulating the information that gets passed up the chain, Tony Kane is making sure the truth doesn't reach the people who need to hear it. This is a clear sign that the city is being run by Tony Kane, not by those elected to serve us. And the worst part, the taxpayers are footing the bill for a man who's oppressing his own community, leading a goon squad of officers who lack proper knowledge of the law and show zero compassion or discretion when it comes to the citizens of Hillsboro. It's time for accountability, it's time for real leadership, and it starts with shining a light on what's really going on behind the scenes.
BZ Watchdog.